Hey, Bleedbigblue, Tim from the podcast. Just wanted to come talk to you guys. I wanted to, hash something out with you guys. Maybe you guys can answer the question for me. We had to watch the Eagles win the Super Bowl, which made me physically sick because I absolutely hate the Eagles. But then I'm thinking to myself, what's worse, the Eagles winning the Super Bowl or the Cowboys winning the Super Bowl or the Redskins winning the Super Bowl? So if you guys haven't figured out where I'm going with this, I'm curious who is the most hated rival for us Giants fans. You know what? I think everybody's maybe a little bit different, but I'm curious where Bleedbigblue Nation goes with this. So when you are a huge fan of a team like we are of the Giants, the one thing we do is we find out about our enemies, don't we? I think the NFC East is one of those teams where you know even who the owner is of the other team. Jeff Lurie, obviously the Cowboys, Jerry Jones, Redskins, Dan Snyder. You even hate the owner. That's how much you cannot stand these teams. And I was just breaking down the teams and seeing what I think of when I think of those teams. I think of the Redskins. I think of the Three Amigos. I think of Mark Rippon. I think of Darryl Green. I think of RG3. And you know what? Started going through it. And do I like those players on the Redskins? No. But do I have this absolute hate of the Redskins to where they're anything to worry about? Maybe it's just because they haven't been the most consistent team winning to where I'm not even really worried about the Redskins. Maybe that's the reason I don't hate them as much as the Cowboys or Eagles. So they're number 3 on my list as far as hatred. But then, I started looking at the Cowboys. When I grew up, they're doing their dynasty with Troy Aikman, Emmitt Smith, Michael Irvin. And now, they're trying to get back to that with Dak, Zeke Elliott, Dez Bryant. I don't think it's going that way. And that's the thing is, do I hate the Cowboys? Yes, with an absolute passion. Because I think I know way too many Cowboys fans who like talking trash to me. But, guys, are they really something to worry about? How many playoff wins did they have in the past 20 years? As much as I hate the Cowboys, are we really worried about them winning a Super Bowl ring? I know the media loves them and thinks every year Cowboys are on the verge of getting to the Super Bowl, but as Giants fans, we know what the reality is. We know that's not going to happen. So, honestly, on my list of hatred, I think Cowboys are number 2 right now. Now, if they start making a run where they're actually good and threatening us a lot, I would maybe change that, because I do hate the Cowboys. But they're number 2 on my hatred list. Now, the Super Bowl champion, Philadelphia Eagles, which that absolutely tears me apart even saying. But hopefully that's going to change come next year. I think of the Eagles. I think of Randall Cunningham. I think of Reggie White. I think of Deshaun Jackson with that damn punt return. I think of Brian Dawkins. I think of Donovan McNabb, which absolutely killed me that he went to be a Philadelphia Eagle because I am a Syracuse fan. And McNabb going to the Eagles was like the worst thing that possibly could have happened because I wanted to root for that guy and I couldn't. So, number 1 on my list, and maybe just because they won the Super Bowl, but probably not, because Philadelphia is always giving the Giants problems. It doesn't make a difference every year. It's always a big game. It's always a rivalry game. You never know who's going to win. But at least on my opinion, I love to hear your guys' thing. Eagles are number 1 on my most hated rival list. So just count down, or count up if you will. Number 3 on my most hated list is the Redskins. Number 2 is the Cowboys. Number 1 is the Eagles. That's who I hate in that order. But I hate all of them. Let's make that clear. You know why? Because I bleed big blue. Always.